welcome to this week's video. I'm Laura.
I'm Carlos.
And this is our journey on Pico Island. And we're bringing you some exciting news. This video is a little bit different than the videos that we've done in the past. Today, we have launched our first tour called Discover the Triangle Islands of the Azores.
We have partnered up with this amazing company called Life Wellness Azores to bring you this amazing tour. Okay, so the owners, Egidio and Celeste, are also from the Azores, and like us, share the passion and connection to these islands.
This tour was designed with slow travel in mind and perfect for those who want to experience and explore these three beautiful islands.
Yeah, like most tours, and I think maybe even some of you have done tours before, they're really fast-paced. I have, and I prefer the slow ones that really allows you to take everything in. For those of you that do not know the Azores, there are 9 islands in the middle of the North Atlantic, about 5 hours roughly from Toronto, about 4.5 from Boston or New York, and about 2 hours to the mainland of Portugal, like Lisbon. In the Azores, you have the best of both worlds. You have the country and you have the ocean. All the islands have these characteristics, and when you're going through the Azores, on any of the 9 islands, you can experience amazing landscapes.
What are the Triangle Islands, you might be asking? Well, the Triangle Islands are Sao Jorge, Pico, and Faial, which are actually part of the central group. The tour is 8 days. We're going to spend 4 days in Sao George. We're going to stay 4 days in Pico, and there's going to be a side trip to Faial. So let's start with Sao Jorge.
So Sao Jorge is an amazing island, right? We've both been there, both loved it. We usually take the ferry from Pico, about 45 minutes. And it's that kind of island where it's just dramatic. Actually reminds me of Kauai. I think when I was in Hawaii, and Kauai is the high cliffs, incredible island.
Very dramatic coastlines. That's one of the things that really stood out to me is, you know, the high cliffs and just the greenery.
We are going to go down to some hikes into the Fajazzar. The Fajazzar Plateaus are created volcanically, sometimes by landslides, and it's around all of Sao Jorge. I mean, a lot of the smaller villages are actually located inside these Fajazzars. It's totally dramatic. Some of them you can't even drive in; you have to hike.
I'm looking forward
it's incredible,
to doing
yeah.
that because that's one thing that we haven't done yet, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Like I remember when we were there. I mean, there's all these lookout points when you're looking down in this, and you can see the coast, and we're high up looking. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know how to explain it. The only way is to visit, and with you guys coming on this tour with us, you're going to experience it. You're going to be doing a lot of ooh, ahs, you know. This is what we were doing.
And don't worry, guys. When we're hiking, we're not doing extreme hikes. Like we said, this is going to be a slow.
Yeah, I can't do extreme hikes. Yes.
No.
But we will be visiting some of these Fajazzars. Okay. When we tour around the island, there are parks. There's Velas is one of the prettiest towns in all of the Azores, at least the islands that I visited. Beautiful, especially at night with the lights, and it's just a nice place to hang out. Lots of nice restaurants, and You know, I mean, what else can you say? I mean, we can just stay here and talk about it, but
but one thing that we did do, we went and visited the coffee.
Yes, that was one of the Fajazzar Plateaus.
They grow coffee there.
Yeah, it's rare. It's this gentleman that grows noon, and he grows some coffee there. He has he took us around. I mean, he has not just coffee; he has every fruit, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He was giving me figs, everything. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing with these islands. I mean, the people itself. I mean, it's part of the whole. Very inviting, and every time we step outside, even from where we are on Pico, anywhere we go around the Azores, we always feel very welcomed, and there'll be no exception in Sao Jorge. Also, the cheese is incredible. They have a famous cheese called we call it Queijo de Sao Jorge, but there's different factories. We can get them here in Canada, but it's worth visiting, and I think it's part of it might be a side excursion, okay? And at the end of this video, we are going to list some of the side excursions that you can do on each of the islands.
So once we've finished our tour on Sao George, we're going to hop on a ferry and we're going to make our way over to the magical island of Pico, which is well known for climbing Mount Pico and their vineyards, award-winning wines, and whale watching.
What can you say about Pico? Well, let me start by saying that I was born on Pico, and I've been going back ever since. Pico is our home when we're there. On Pico, we're going to explore both the coast and the highlands. So on the coast, lots of villages. We're going to stop in a lot of them, and then we're going to make our way up to the highlands, which is about 20 minutes from the coast, and you'll be in a different environment. You'll definitely be in an area that's protected, about 80%. We have lakes. It's like, looks a bit like Scotland, Ireland, kind of very green. And it's amazing that you can have both, the country and the ocean. That's what Pico is all about. We're also going to visit the vineyards, the protected UNESCO vineyards, obviously museums, the wine museum. Laura, our favorite thing to do on Pico is whale watching.
Yes, whale watching and drinking their award-winning wine.
Wine, yeah, those are two great things. Whales and wine. But
hey, that's a great T-shirt.
But like Pico, like all the other islands, you can mix what you can do on the ocean and what you can do on land.
While we are on Pico, we're actually going to take a day trip over to the island which is adjacent, called Faial. And again, we're going to hop on the ferry and make our way over there. It's about a 25-minute ride.
It's the closest one to Pico, so it's so easy to island hop. We do that often. It's about, like Laura said, 25 minutes, 6 in the high season, about 6 ferries a day, and about 4 during the off season. But on Faial, it's a small, compact island. So much to see. You can go up to the highest point and experience the crater there. It's fairly high up. Sometimes you can't see it because of the weather conditions, but I've a few times when it is clear, it's quite incredible to be up there looking down at this huge crater. Obviously around the island there's more villages. There's Varadouro, Praia do Norte, Capelo. There's also the area they call it Mars. Okay, it's called Capelinhos. This, in 1950s, there was a major explosion. People had to actually get out of that area, and the island was extended with this major volcanic eruption, the last one to happen in the Azores. But when you visit here, it is like I think they're even testing, NASA is actually testing on the surface there because it's the closest thing to Mars. Okay, so worth a visit, and we're definitely going to check that out. You have to when you on any tour of Faial. It's a must, right? So
and they have beaches. They have a couple of beaches.
They have
there.
beaches.
The Black Sand Beach.
Yeah, Al Sharif is the name of that one.
Yeah, they have a cafe called Peter Cafe, which has been there since
over 100 years. So I'm not going to say 200. I think it's over 100, and it's famous. The marina is one of the top marinas in the world. Logistically, in the middle of the Atlantic, North America, Europe, it's one of those points where the sailors have to stop there. And over the years, I mean, it's very, like I said, strategically, it's a very important place for sailors. And but Horta, which is the city where the marina and Peter Cafe is very beautiful, and a lot of shops and restaurants, and fairly active and very picturesque.
Yeah, and well, I think we'll have a really fun day there too.
Yeah, so it'll be a full day. We'll go in the morning, probably come back early evening, and make it back for dinner. The accommodations that we're using in St. George is Cantinho das Bougainvilhas, a really, really nice place, quaint, overlooking the ocean. And in Pico is Alma do Pico, wood cabins in a beautiful forest, again, overlooking the ocean and the island of Faial. And people that will be on this tour are going to be impressed.
These islands, you will experience 3 seasons in a day. So my recommendation is to layer your clothing. You need your rain jackets and maybe fleece, sweater, t-shirts. Now, very important, shoes. Very comfortable shoes, your hiking shoes. Now, there's a lot of cobblestones throughout these villages. So
no high heels, I don't think would be good.
I mean, there are a lot of women there. They do wear high heels. I don't recommend it. Maybe low heels for dinner. You can do that. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're prepared.
Suntan lotion. I mean, even though we are more in the fall, there's a lot of sun and it can be powerful. Sunglasses, hats, that kind of thing. Just prepare. Most of you have probably traveled to nature places before. Just that's it. Same thing with the Azores.
Yeah, and actually, I would suggest bringing bandages because I've gone on a few hikes and I always end up with blisters. So
we have our first injury. Laura has a blister on her foot. You're gonna be all right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, first aid. Always be prepared. On the tour and part of the itinerary, you're going to have a day off in each of the islands. And just some of the excursions that you might decide to do on your own. Of course, whale watching, kayaking, sailing, diving, fishing, more hiking. What else?
Shopping,
ATV. So there's so much else, canyoning. And I mean, there's just quite a few things you can decide to do, even sailing. It's really up to you. I just wanted to mention that on your day off, you could also do absolutely nothing. You might be tired, need a breather, or we can hook you up with some of these excursions.
All right, guys, so let's recap on this incredible tour, and we really hope that you're going to come along with us because it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
So you're going to fly into Sao Jorge, and you're going to spend 4 nights in Sao Jorge. And then we're going to take a ferry over to Pico. You're going to spend 4 nights there, and in between that time, we're going to take a day trip over to Faial.
Yeah, so it's going to be, you'll stay in 2 islands and visit 3. The tour will include the accommodations, some excursions, some meals, a lot of meals, and the transfer between the islands.
If you guys would like to come on this tour, you can contact us through our email, which is thetravelguys@picoholidayexperts.com. You can also visit our website, picoholidayexperts.com.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because one of the things that really excites me is meeting some of you. Okay.
And it excites me too.
Yeah, both of us. And yeah, I mean, if you, this tour, just to end it, is basically, if you ever thought of visiting the Azores for the first time, you wanted to get a good taste of the islands, this tour would be good for you. Some of you were also thinking of retiring or buying a vacation home on one of the islands. This could be for you as well because, again, you get a good taste and feel for the islands.
It definitely is a great tour for that. So we're gonna see you guys over there, and we're gonna end the video now. You guys know what to do. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the Azores.